Hello, my name is Bill Elliott. I stated that I don't have a question for the commander. More Americans have been killed, murdered by illegal aliens than died in the Vietnam War. Okay? That's really offensive that you're laughing at that.
65,000 since 911.
God bless those brothers and sisters that died in Vietnam, but God bless our brothers and sisters here, the innocent Americans that were killed by illegal aliens.
Amen.
And what I want to know from the commander is when you are releasing 80% of deportable illegal aliens, how do you look in the eye of the wife of David March? Los Angeles County Deputy Sheriff David March, his family misses him. Kate Steinley's family, they grieve for her loss. And Jamil Shaw was brutally murdered, also by an illegal alien gang member. And I want to know, how do you deal with that on a personal level?
Thank you.
Well, I'm not here to talk about my personal opinions. Unfortunately, we do have to abide by the law of the state. I do agree with Marsh and, and what's occurred with those families. But one thing I want to make clear is that all individuals that detainers are placed on doesn't necessarily mean that they're here illegally. A lot of times ICE just doesn't have information on them, and they place a detainer on them because they have the right to do that. And then eventually when they interview them and they talk to them, they find out that they are here legally, and then therefore they're then released back to the community. So not all 5,000 of those detainers, because there's a detainer means necessarily that they are here illegally. So we're not, when we're releasing somebody, we're releasing them to the custody of Department of Homeland Security, to ICE. Could be that a week later they're out on the street because they were found to be here legally. And it's not for us to decide whether they are or not. It's for them to do their investigation and decide whether they're going to deport them because they're here illegally or let them go.
Thank you, Kim Sorgente. I live in the neighboring community, and I would want to know if this panel is aware of what's going on in this room. Like, as far as people's true intentions, I believe women. If 4 out of 5 women that come across that border are raped, they're sexually assaulted. And so there's more. This is not enough. This is not enough. We need more. Because this is a travesty, what's going on here.
Sir, let go. I'll hold it.
I want to ask you if you're aware that 4 out of 5 women coming across that border are raped by the coyotes, are sexually assaulted. That's not the way to get into this country. And this is what we're here for. We're here for our country, and we're here to get a wall. We want a wall.
Amen.
And anybody that laughs at that is a sociopath.
Yes, they are.
Sir, please, rules.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and also thank you to the speakers.
Please.
My name is Evelyn Robinson. I'm a Los Angeles-born native to California. I actually went to Citrus College, and I have all my credits from Citrus College and actually lived in Glendora. With that aside, I would like to talk to the lawyer, William Widner. Sir, do you believe in our Constitution?
I
The U.S.
do.
Constitution. With that, sir, do you believe that everything should be followed by our Constitution, every single law?
I do.
Okay, and with that, sir, because our Constitution has laws and rules, do you believe that when illegals come here, that they are criminals when they cross that border?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's not for me to determine that.
What?
I am not a law enforcement officer. I am a lawyer.
It's breaking the law.
And I don't enforce the law.
He's asking for your
I
opinion.
provide legal advice.
He gave bad advice to municipal authorities too. Told them not to do it.
Excuse me, everyone. Excuse me. Next speaker, please.
It's going back, and that's what, make sure that everyone remembers one thing. Kate Steinley was murdered by an illegal alien. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my question is, you know, when someone gets taken into custody and they have dollar bills on them, if those dollar bills are counterfeit, does every law enforcement officer decide, oh, it's a federal thing, so we can't touch that? You know? We're not impeding on the federal government, but we're just refusing to comply with that. Why is that the case with what we call money, but when it comes to counterfeit Americans, no one's concerned at all? Yeah. And you guys act like you serve us. Yeah, you're forward with your views.
Who are you serving?
And statements of these agencies are, but yet none of you are willing to really enforce what the real law is, and that's to have real Americans in America. I think Americans should be first in America, right? That's right.
Thank you, sir.
So I think I can keep my sentiments clear about this. First of all, to bring it up to speed here, the Sheriff's Association still opposes SB 54. That's Kern County all the way to Modoc.
Question, please.
Okay, so there's been some issues. I'm very alarmed. We had the commander here say that domestic violence perpetrators would still be turned over to ICE, but then there's a distinction. I could see it over on the side, he had to correct him. If it's a misdemeanor, they get released onto the streets, including those who commit sex with a minor.
Outrage.
They get released back to the streets as well. So the questions I have are, charter cities can become exempt right now. So the first question is, when are the Glendora residents going to become a charter city? The second thing is, it's really clear from this city attorney to others, they're tipping their hand and don't want to do work. So I would say to city council, when are you going to fire the city attorney?
And doing what's right for the citizens.
Thank you, Arthur.
He did that to Rancho Palos Verdes. He told him not to do anything. I was there. You're a
Progressive.
scumbag.
Sir, hey, please.
Okay.
I don't think that's a question, so we'll go to the next one.
When can you be fired? That's the question.
My name's Eva, and it's really more of a comment also. Back in the late 80s, we had Prop 187. I think it passed over 90-something%.
Yep.
And then, of course, the
Lawyers.
Democratic Socialists of America probably tied it up in court for years.
That's right.
But then we have Jerry Brown going past, you know, the Value Act, this act for all the illegals, SB 54. What do we have to do as citizens, honestly, to turn that tide back, to take our state back? I mean, is there something we could do legally to
Vote them out.
Vote him out.
You say you're a nonpartisan office. How nonpartisan are you? By that I mean, can Jerry fire you? Did you have to make Jerry happy to get your position? And could you lose your position if we get a new executive in office, as we're hoping John Cox will take over?
Yes.
The Legislative Analyst Office is actually, we report to the Joint Legislative Budget Committee, and so they're...
I have a comment that I'd like to make, and then I've got a question. We are a nation of laws.
That's right, that's right.
Please obey our laws.
Exactly.
Everybody, that includes illegals who are in this country illegally. My question is, I wondered why De Leon named the law the Trust Act.
Values Act.
Or Values Act, or Trust Act. Who are we supposed to trust? The illegals coming into our country, murdering American citizens? Who do we trust? We can't trust them, so we need to trust you, the lawmakers, the lawyers, law enforcement. That's who we have to rely on. It's your job. And of course, the politicians in Sacramento and in DC. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Committee, you certainly can exercise your right to go to Sacramento or to talk to your elected officials and have the dialogue with them. We are